Hello everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. This one is running on empty. I am one of the players, Wick, and joining with me today is the lovely...
I'm JayJay, and I'll be playing Drew because actually they are no longer the only character that I have.
I noticed!
I can't say that anymore. It would be a lie.
Me looking at the character sheets. Yes. I'm Aizamuchi, but also, yes, you are playing Drew. And I'll be playing Austin Teishus. So, um... I guess we start, as we always do, in Toontown. Drew, what are you up to? What you do?
Probably the same thing that I'm always up to, and it's being lost. When you
Being
zone out
horribly...
while walking, you get lost fairly quickly because you don't know how you got here. So it's fine.
It's fine. Cool. You wanna roll a perception check, I guess.
I can sure try.
Oh dang. Modified 20.
We're off to a good start.
Yes.
I hope it stays that way.
It's like that's no way I won't say it. But with your perception, um there there are actually a fair amount of people out here. It's because it's, the middle of the day. It's just a little bit past, maybe past 1 or so. So it's getting to be the afternoon, and there are plenty of tunes milling about. But you can't help but notice one in particular, one with a top hat and a very bizarre fashion outfit.
He's
Fashion
not that
statement,
he's
I
not that
guess.
hard to spot.
It really isn't, even with all these people. But you notice that he is currently looking through a storefront window. He has a couple bags in his hand, and he's just kind of looking at whatever's in the shop.
So, can I have Austin roll a dex save?
Yeah, okay. They roll a dex save me. Don't mind if I do. Right, let's see what happens. That's a 21.
Okay. So, um, you hear very faintly in the distance someone scream something, and then the next thing that you know, there's a 4 foot tall robot um hugging you.
Oh, wait, did I not pass the dex save?
No, you did, so you don't fall over.
Oh, okay, understandable. But he's gonna go, oh, hello.
What's up?
Um, nothing?
Did you ever find your bike?
Oh, oh, my bike. Right, the bike. Uh, no.
What if I told you I've been looking for it?
I, you, you and his eyebrows kind of shoot up. You what?
I've been looking for it.
What? Why?
'Cause it's your bike? What do you mean, why?
Well, that's kind of like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
It's not like I don't have plenty of time. Just
You
because the
not
city's
have a
big,
hobby?
there's a number of things that I don't have.
Austin, stop being rude. This robot has very important things to do. Do not shame him.
Look, Drew's to-do list is not very big.
But he kind of Austin takes a look around. Well, I mean, you're probably not gonna have a lot of luck today. There's a lot of people.
Austin, it's Toontown. There's a lot of people every day.
Well, there's a lot more people today. They have some sales going on.
Well then, what are you doing?
Just looking around.
None of the sales interest you?
Nope.
Drew's gonna squint, but is gonna drop it.
But what about you? Have you seen anything you like?
I've been looking for the bikes, so no.
Yes.
Whoa.
Sorry, my mic went.
I was gonna say, I think Discord cut you off.
It's too long a silence. Panic. Well, I guess we can go and look for the bike. And then the day will be ours. And he kind of just like puts like his fist in the air, like, yeah.
That sounds like a plan to me. But I don't have any leads yet.
Well, yeah, that bike is kind of and he just kind of shrugs.
I've just sort of been spending a lot of time walking around and keeping my eye out for it.
Oh. Well, you've been doing a lot more than me.
Just gonna shrug. Like, I guess, but I don't have any leads on it, so sure.
Austin's gonna narrow his eyes a little bit. You know, how long have you been walking?
Today?
Yeah.
Drew's gonna look up at the sun for a moment. A couple hours.
Couple hours.
You can roll insight if you want.
Yes, please. It's a 14.
It wasn't that high to beat. Drew has been up since the sun came up, walking around.
Oh my god.
They don't have a lot of the things to do.
He's just gonna take another look at this robot and be like, "You've been walking around all day, haven't you?"
No! Oh, my mic did not pick that up at all. No. Oh, my mic will pick up the sound of my Mountain Dew opening up, but not the sound of me speaking.
You're just cracking up in a cold one with the book.
Yeah. Sometimes it'd be like that.
But Austin kind of gives a sigh. Well, I haven't been out for very long, so you want to like take a break? Have you been taking breaks?
I've been taking breaks. Don't worry about that. There's plenty of benches.
He's going to worry anyway. Well, I mean, if you'd like, you can at least take a short break and go over where it could possibly be. The bike, I mean.
Do you have any ideas on where?
Absolutely none.
Just gonna nod. Okay. It was worth a shot in asking.
I mean, with Toontown being so big, it could really be anywhere. And as he says this, you see the bike, yes, the bike, just zip right past you two.
Drew's head is gonna turn to follow whoever is on it. And then, you know what? Okay, so Drew is going to take off in a sprint. They're not gonna say anything, they're just going. Goodbye.
Where are you going?
They're running after the bike now.
Also, just taking a double take. Well, okay. So now y'all are running.
Wow, this sounds familiar.
And I'll just use your perception from earlier. You notice that this bike has a cloaked figure atop it.
That's not sus at all.
It is just one big gray cloth figure, like cloth. It's they're wearing a cloak. And it's just going.
So Drew's just gonna be chasing. They're trying to see how close they can get before they start screaming.
I get it. But it you notice though that this rider's a bit strange. A couple of times it just cuts directly through crowds with no regard.
That's not
anybody.
safe.
Sometimes it's on the sidewalk, sometimes it's in the middle of the road, and then it swerves back onto the sidewalk.
Drew's going to remain on the sidewalk so they don't get hit by a car, but they have a keen eye trained on this cloaked figure and the bike that does not belong to them.
And as you do so, it turns a corner. Do you follow?
Yes, so it's gonna be like one of those things where like you hear like a tire squealing sound as Drew rounds the corner. Like skidding to the stop, you hear like a tire squeal and then like they're gone again.
And it is still barreling down the sidewalk.
Holy shit.
It almost seems to kind of jump from side to side as it avoids people and cars alike. It is just going ham.
I think if Drew's close enough now, they're gonna, while still running. You know that doesn't belong to you?
The figure does not turn its head.
Damn, I hope not if they don't want to crash.
And in fact, it picks up speed a little.
Rude.
And Asa's just kind of huffing and puffing behind you. How can you run for so long? Listen, I know I'm not that out of shape.
I'm a robot.
Oh, right. But there's no point in chasing a thing that's faster.
You have a point there. but this is the first time we've seen it in days.
Yeah, well, there's a reason for that. As he says this, there is a wind, a strong gust of wind that blows from the east, and it threatens to blow your hat away, but it does not. Um, but it does blow the cloak off of this figure, and you find that there is no one. There is no one on that bike. There is nothing driving this vehicle.
Hello?
It is just going.
Just watching the bike like, what the hell? Hello? Well, that's new.
That's what I was saying.
What?
I wasn't worried about it. It just kind of runs off sometimes.
The bike runs off sometimes.
Yes. It does that. It's like a cat. It just goes wherever for 2 weeks and then comes back like nothing happened. And also it has lower tire pressure.
Just standing there staring up at Austin like, what? They've never heard of bikes that
explain to you.
They've never heard of bikes that just move on their own like this.
Well, either way, I know where it's going now.
You do?
Yeah, let's go.
She's not gonna question it. They're just gonna follow Austin. The fact that this bike moves on its own and that Austin knew this was happening has already just shattered their brain a little bit.
But, as you two kind of start trotting along, you see Austin's confidence in knowing where it's going starts to fade a little. Maybe he's not as sure as where you're supposed to go.
Why am I not surprised?
We'll turn around again. But no worries. We're gonna be fine.
I'm used to being lost, so I'm not that worried about it.
And Austin just has this look like, I want to question them, but I'm not going to.
You did say they've been looking for the bike since it disappeared.
I know.
Not knowing that it could do that.
But he kind of just starts. He just picks a direction and walks. It's probably around here somewhere, hopefully. And you guys go down a couple alleyways, a couple sidewalks, a couple more alleyways. And then you guys are stuck at a chain link fence.
Out of character, I'm like, wow, I wonder if this chain link fence looks familiar to me.
Huh. Does it?
How about... No.
No.
This is a totally different, unrelated fence.
Yes. Or is it? We just don't know.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Drew does not recognize it. Not that they would, considering they were chasing something at the time.
But on the other side of the chain link fence is the bike. It just seems to stand there. Like upright. It's not leaning on anything. It's just there.
I'm not sure they're supposed to do that, but I'm not going to question it. And they'll point at the bike, like, it's goes against everything I know about bikes.
Well, guess we gotta climb over.
She was like, okay. Should I roll dex for that?
You can roll athletics, I guess,
Okay.
or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
I'm gonna do athletics, because that has a much higher stat. Wow, this went about as well as it did the last time that I tried to do this. At least this time I don't end up in garbage, I hope.
You make it up about halfway up the fence before your foot gets stuck in one of the chain spaces.
Just going to sigh because of course this would happen. This went about as well as it did last time.
Oh.
At least they're not in a hurry this time.
That's good. Meanwhile, Austin's already scrambled up to the top and is about to jump down, but stops and waits.
She's gonna yank their foot loose and then finish the climb and jump before they have to climb down the other side of the fence. I would rather jump than climb down.
You both jump down, and as you do so, the bike falls on its side.
Does it normally do that too?
I don't know. Sometimes.
She's gonna look at Austin and give him a look like, what do you mean sometimes?
It's kind of, again, it's kind of like a cat. It just kind of does what it wants, which is fine. And he actually walks over and takes a look at the bike. All right, you're not too worse for wear. Haven't really been too out and about. Huh. Well, it was successful. Now you don't have to look for it anymore.
That's true, and now I know that it does this regularly.
Yeah, a bit of a rascal, huh? Yeah, he picks up the bike and rests it against the building that it is nearby, because you guys are kind of in like kind of an alley section.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right next to a gutter pipe. And then Austin kind of just looks up, kind of following the pipe. Oh, yeah, we are here. Hey, you want to come inside?
What?
The apartment, I mean.
What? She's
My
very
apartment.
flabbergasted. Like, what do you mean, come inside? Where is here? This isn't another suspicious ice cream shop, is it?
Oh no, this is my place.
Oh.
Yeah. Except I forgot the keys, so we're probably just gonna have to go in through the window.
Drew is like a mixture of emotions that's like shocked that this is where Austin lives, but also disappointed and not surprised that he does not have his keys. Like, I don't know what I expected, but it was not this.
So, yeah, I'm on like the third? No, the second. Yeah, it's the second, right? No, it's the third floor.
And how do you expect to get up there?
Well, you can just shimmy up, and he points to the gutter.
Are you going to shimmy it while carrying your bags?
Yes. I can just throw it in my hat.
Okay. It's not sure that this is gonna work, but...
So he actually removes his hat and places the bags inside. And then just puts it back on again. Yep, totally fine.
Do you do this often?
Yeah. And
she's gonna nod like, okay.
Listen, I'll just go first and show you where it is. And he's going to attempt to climb this this
He's
gutter
going to
pipe.
stay firmly on the ground until Austin gets inside. And that's why.
So he he starts he starts climbing up this gutter pipe, and and he's actually going about it pretty fine, except now you're starting to hear a creak and a crumple, and uh-oh, this gutter pipe is coming away from the wall.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
can Drew move to catch Austin so he doesn't break all his bones?
Yeah, we're tunes, we'll be fine. But you can, but but as this gutter pipe starts coming off of there, he actually does like a little kind of jump. He kind of swings from that to the ledge of a window. He's okay, but the gutter pipe is not. It's just hanging there like
Half detached, half against, like, half still connected to the wall, hanging off precariously.
Oh, don't worry, I'm fine. I knew that pipe was suspect.
Just watching all of this, like, oh, jeez.
Don't worry, I'll unlock it, and then you can go take the stairs or something. So
Just gonna nod and walk inside and start climbing the stairs to the third floor, thinking, what?
So you take a walk inside, and would you like to take a look around, or?
Sure, yeah. Well, now am I just inside the apartment or am I inside the building?
You are inside the building. Currently,
Okay.
you are in the lobby area, which, seems decent enough.
Nice.
A 23, looking like, okay.
I'm glad I can see, because I can't climb the fence.
Listen, you're very perceptive today. You do notice something. This is a very stark contrast to the shady ice cream shop that before. This place seems, at least from the decor and the atmosphere, seems pretty reputable. It's got like a little desk area. There's a nice carpet, a couple of couches. This is just the bottom floor of the place. But there are also a set of steps leading upstairs to the right.
I'm gonna go ahead and just start climbing the steps.
And as you do so, you kind of, it's, when you go in there and you can hear, like it's super echoey and like the hall. Yeah, it's like that.
Because my apartment does that.
So you kind of just hear your footsteps ring out all around you. And
wow, this must get
I would say obviously the doors are marked, so when you get to the third floor. But I would say that as you get there and open the door, you realize something.
I have no idea which one it is.
Exactly. So yeah, you are now on the third floor with no idea which apartment this is.
How many apartments are on the floor?
Great. Me trying to search up how many are usually on a floor.
I've been, for example, mine has 4 to a floor, but I've been in buildings that have, 20. So,
Alright, well, we'll go down the median as I thought. Alright, so there are 10 on this floor.
Well, at least there aren't 20.
That works.
So Drew doesn't want to like shout because other people live here, but Drew's gonna start walking down the hallway and looking at each door and being like,
And as you look at each door, there are a couple that are relatively unmarked except for the apartment number. But a couple of them also have like one of them has like cute stickers on them. One of them has one or two notices. One of them just has like a random meme picture. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds right.
but but that's about it.
Oh, great. She's gonna like turn around and like look at down the hallway towards the stairs again. Like, I didn't think this through very well, did I?
More like Austin didn't think this through.
Neither of them had a single thought in their heads.
They just went, yes, let's go inside.
I'm trying to think of like what I could roll. Drew doesn't want to knock on every single door because that's a lot, and also that would bother people. I'm tempted to argue to roll insight to see if any of the doors that have stuff on them like look like something that Austin would put on the door.
Okay, well, go ahead. Oh. Whoa.
Where was that when I wanted to climb the fence?
Damn. So, I'm sorry, I'm just laughing over here like,
this is just if Austin even decorates his door, I know which one it is. But does he?
One by one, you're looking at each of the decorated doors. One of them has a bunch of cute, like, pastel-looking stickers. But you're not quite sure if Austin really likes pastel stuff.
No.
You could see him liking stickers, but you're not sure about the design.
Yes.
There is another door that has a couple notices. One of them an eviction notice. You really hope it's not that one. You just hope it isn't and move on. You have one that has a couple of memes. You don't really get them that much.
Nope.
Maybe.
Just heard of memes, but Drew doesn't know any.
But, they're, I don't know, they're just kind of weird. It could be him, but you're not quite sure. But then one door catches your eye.
Oh.
You go up to this door. There isn't really anything particularly fancy on it, except a cute little border that's around the number. And you notice, though, that it's polka dots. So maybe this one is it. After all, his socks are polka dot.
The metaphorical light bulb just went off, so just gonna walk up to that door and knock on it. Damn, I hope I'm not wrong.
So you knock on the door.
Yes.
There is no answer.
Shit. She's gonna knock again just to be sure. But like a little harder so that way like there's actual sound.
You knock again. And you listen a bit closely. now you hear some movement inside there, and then like tap, 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 and then you realize this is someone running towards the front door.
Drew's immediately like, boy, if this isn't Austin, he's about to get yelled at.
But you hear the chain and then the latch come off, and the door opens, and it's Austin. Oh, thank goodness. I'm sorry, I got stuck in the window.
I thought you said you do this often.
Well, yeah, but the gutter pipe doesn't usually do that. I was not in a very advantageous position.
I hope you realized that I had to deduce which door was yours.
Well, I knew you could do it.
She's gonna give him a look, but not say anything.
But anyway, he kind of steps back and motions for you to come inside.
And Drew will do that.
And he shuts the door behind you and locks it back up.
That's a smart decision.
But as you enter, you notice that near the front there is a pair of shoes. They're not Austin's, or at least not the ones he's wearing. So they're near the front. So you have a feeling maybe you need to take off your shoes if you have shoes.
Drew does
he
not
wear shoes?
Drew does not, in fact, wear shoes. Like
Good.
when you are made of metal, your feet are just your shoes. So if there's a mat, Drew will wipe their feet, and if not, they'll just sort of like tap their feet against the ground and knock off any dirt, so they're not tracking it through the house.
there is a mat. Yes, there's a little mat next to the shoes.
So they will wipe their feet off on that.
And Austin actually does the same and takes off his shoes. So now he has less height. He kind of tosses them next to the other shoes. Then he goes, well, this is it. And honestly, I'm just going to take your previous perception and just go with it. And what do you think the place looks like?
If it's a 2-bedroom, it has to be at least semi-decently sized. I'd imagine that there's like at least a kitchen that may or may not have an island or like a sort of counter separating it from the living room. This is just from my experience of like looking at 2-bedroom apartments on like a website. I've only ever lived in apartments that have 4, so they're a bit bigger, but they're also mostly bedrooms, so
cool. That's, I guess, how it looks. I hadn't thought about it. But
we'll figure it out later. It's not important.
There is something though that you've noticed, and despite Austin's eccentric fashion and odd behavior, the place doesn't really reflect that as much. The walls are kind of a nice cream color. There are 1 or 2 kind of framed paintings and pictures. They just seem to have flowers or a landscape. The couch looks pretty nice. There's, the kitchen looks relatively simple, but there's like a little stove and a fridge. And yes, there are 2 bedrooms, or at least that's what you assume.
There's at least 2, maybe more.
Yeah, there are at least 2. There might be 1 and just like a really big closet. You don't know. We don't know, but
we can figure that out later. Pushes the fact that we didn't think that part through aside.
Don't worry about it. So, this is my place. Well,
That's nice.
I mean, it's not just mine.
You have a roommate.
Yeah, I do. That's the shoes. But I think they might have changed into something else. I don't think they're here.
I mean, as long as we're not bugging anybody.
Exactly. So now, he takes off his hat. He's gonna go into his hammer space. Ah, good. He takes out the bags from before. They look relatively unharmed.
Damn, I hope so.
Oh, so, you, hungry?
I mean, I could eat.
Well, I mean, I only
Drew,
have ingredients
internally,
for...
I haven't eaten in multiple hours.
I'm gonna kick this robot's butt.
They've been out looking since dawn. They didn't
I
think.
know they have. Why do you do this?
They got so zoned out that they forgot to eat. It's fine.
But gosh, if that ain't a mood.
See?
But, true though, it happens. But, Austin kind of makes a motion for you to come over to the kitchen.
Drew's gonna follow.
And the two of you get to the kitchen. There's like a little counter, but also like a little other bigger counter. He kind of puts the stuff on there. I already had lunch, I think. But I kind of got some stuff for baking. That sound fun?
I've never baked before.
And he stops. You haven't baked before?
Just gonna look at him like, I'm a robot. I spent most of my time in a lab.
Oh, right. Well, to be fair, not everyone has an oven. Or toaster oven, I guess. And he starts taking a couple things out of the bag. But you see one or two food items alongside like a box and like another smaller box. And he turns around. So, what do you want to bake? A cake? Cupcakes? That's what the mix is for. And he picks up one of the boxes. Yeah, it's a box mix.
Again, she's never baked before, so she does not know the difference and complications that come with either of those things. So they'll just look at him like, it's your mix, and I've never baked before.
Right. Okay. Well, then cupcakes it is. So he kind of just... He goes over to one of the cabinets and kind of starts poking around a bit. You see him take out, like, a couple of, like, cupcake tins. And, like, one of the boxes that he had was, like, a little box of like, the little baking cups.
Yeah.
He also has the mix, and then he opens the fridge and starts rooting around in there. And you notice that the fridge is not overly stocked, but it's not empty either. It kind of seems about normal for maybe one or two people. And it's actually fairly well organized. But he takes out... what does he take out? He takes out a couple of eggs. Now, how many of these... And he looks at the back of the box. But 4? What do you mean 4? We don't need 4 eggs for this. And he's looking again at the box. This is why I don't usually... And he takes another look in the fridge. I think we have just enough. So, he takes out 4 eggs and then puts them out on the counter. Gosh. Right, where's a bowl? And he kind of shuts the fridge, rummages through for more stuff. He gets a bowl, a spoon, and that's it, I think. These ones are usually easy. So, you want me to make them? You want to make them together? I mean, there's not really much to do.
I mean, if you tell me the instructions, I can do it.
Okay.
Drew does not know what they're doing. They have never made cupcakes in their life. They've never eaten a cupcake in their life.
Well, now it's time. Would you like to take a look at the box?
Yeah.
When you do, you can make either a straight intelligence or an investigation check to read.
Okay. It's the same, so it doesn't matter.
Oh.
Wow, am I sure Drew knows how to read? I don't know anymore.
It's like, apparently I don't know how to read.
Just looking at this box and like, no.
Well, I can tell you there is a reason why it's tough for you to read it.
Oh.
You look at it and you're trying to read it, and then you look at it again, and then you realize it isn't even in common.
Cool. I'm trying to think. Does Drew actually know other languages? I don't think so.
Yes, it seems to be in a different language, so it's kind of tough. It does have pictures on it, though. You do recognize, like a cup or two of different things, and then like a picture of like 4 eggs, so you know that there are 4 eggs.
Okay, so are the pictures enough to go on that I can at least like scrape by while trying to do this?
You can try.
Okay.
So there are only 3 pictures. One of them looks like a cup with like a bluish liquid, like a light blue. One of them has like a yellowish liquid, and then you have the 4 eggs.
So Drew is going to like stare at this for what feels like 5 seconds too long before attempting to start following the picture directions because they can't read the normal directions.
And meanwhile, Austin has actually just pulled up a chair and is kind of just sitting back.
Oh like... my god.
He's just kind of watching.
You're not gonna help?
I can preheat the oven. And he kind of stands up. He goes over and sets the oven on. But then opens it and checks to make sure there isn't anything in it.
Oh my god.
There is nothing in it.
Okay, so I've actually checked. What language is the box in?
Me, what languages do you know? It'll be something not that.
Common, Grolix, and Primordial.
Oh, well, let me see. Which one? Yeah, it's none of those. You're just looking at like, the heck is this? But,
okay, so I'm gonna just keep trying to follow the pictures. Austin is being no help, so I'm doing my best.
Well, actually, he kind of takes a look over your shoulder, because he can, at the box.
Yeah, he can. Goes, he's, like, still, like, over a foot taller than me.
But he takes a look, and then goes, oh, yeah, let me get that out. And, he opens another cabinet. Yeah, one of the measuring cups. And he gets a measuring cup out. You know, one of the liquid ones. Right, so we have that, and then... Oh, right, I forgot. And so he goes over to another cabinet. And you notice this one looks like kind of the spice and condiments one. Kind of just from the looks of it. And he takes out a bottle and sets it down. All right, I think we're good.
I mean, you know better than I do.
You think so?
I can't read the box.
Well, neither can I.
Why did you pick this mix if you can't read the box?
Well, it's good because it looked good. And he points to the front of the box, and you must admit, the picture does look pretty nice. And besides, most of the mixes are the same. All you have to do is read the numbers. And he kind of points to, like, the first one, where it says, like, da-da-da, 350, da-da-da-da-da. That's probably the temperature, so I put that on the oven.
She's just looking between Austin, the box, and the oven, like... Internally, they're like, okay, he has a point, but also...
Are you sure about that?
Are you...
There's nothing to it. Let me see. Usually you set it, then why don't you put the baking cups in the muffin tins?
Okay.
And and I'll get this kind of started, I guess.
All right.
He kind of takes the box, kind of opens it up, and takes out this mix, and it's kind of like it looks slightly pinkish, and kind of it looks like it has some bits in it or something, but he doesn't look phased.
She's just eyeing the package like, this cupcake mix really looks like that? I don't know. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to put the tiny little paper cups in the tin and be done with it. I don't know.
So you see him kind of open the bag and dump all the contents into the bowl. All right, next, and this. And he picks up the bottle he had taken out earlier. You do notice now that it's a bit of oil, so he kind of puts a little bit in the measuring cup and then pours that in there too. And then just some water. Yeah, okay, water. And he goes over to the sink and starts filling it up a bit.
She's gonna, like, not directly, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, not directly watch him, but just, like, keep an eye on the situation while also putting the cups in the tin, because they don't know, and they will not learn if they don't watch, so... But they were also given a task, so they're gonna do it.
And, shuts off the sink.
Uh-oh,
And he kind of just looks at the eggs like, what?
I think your mic cut off for a sec.
He's just looking... He's looking disappointed at the eggs. This is a waste of eggs. Why 4? And he goes and picks one up. All right.
She's looking at him like, you're asking me, like, I know? Uh-oh.
And he cracks the first egg, and the yolk just falls out of it, but onto the table.
Oh, jeez.
He kind of just he's just kind of standing there like, what do I do? Towel.
Just gonna kind of come over and scrape what they can of the egg yolk and the egg goop into their hand and off the counter.
He kind of laughs a little. What are you doing?
Cleaning?
I could do it myself. Trash, right. And he kind of goes under the sink. There's like a cabinet under there, and gets a trash can. Okay. Just dump it in here, I guess.
She's gonna do that. They're just gonna uncup their hands, and the egg's gonna fall in with like a splat.
Me shivering. This was me earlier.
Yeah. I hope you had better luck with your eggs than Austin did.
I did. Except I did drop a shell into the bowl, and I was
That's
like, shit.
that's still better luck than Austin has.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna make him roll for each freaking egg because he was being
Oh
an
my
ass.
god.
But
She's
but
not gonna
you
wash their
notice
hands yet in case he cracks another one on the counter.
you notice though that by now he had taken his gloves off, and he actually goes and washes his hands because he got some of the egg goop on him. Would you like to roll another perception check?
Yeah, I sure would. Me never remembering what my perception check is. 15.
15. Oh, that's good. So as you notice, you know, he gets some soap on his hands and starts to wash them really quick. You notice that without his gloves, there seem to be some red marks on the backs of his hands.
Oh, I don't trust like this.
But that's only for a moment as he goes and dries off with a paper towel. All right, let's do the second one. I wasn't kidding. He's gonna roll it again. This one goes a lot smoother. He kind of settles and he cracks an egg on the edge and just opens it up. And yeah, no, this one goes in no problem. Oh, good. And he very carefully gets the eggshells and throws them in the trash can, which it's still in front of him, or at least to the side. To me, makes him roll for every freaking egg.
Oh, great.
And then this one. He cracks the egg. Only about half of it gets in the bowl, half of it's on the counter, and a couple eggshell pieces fall off, but not into the bowl. They're just on the counter.
You're just gonna scrape
Have I
the
not
eggshells
baked
and
it a lot?
goop into his hands and put it in the trash can.
Stop doing that. I can get it.
My hands are still dirty. It's fine.
But he actually looks a little irritated, but then he just kind of sighs and kind of nudges the trash can over to you.
Just gonna dump the contents of their hands into it.
All right. At least there's only one more, and then we get on to the fun part. And I'd have to say, with this one, he cracks it in there. A little bit of shell gets in there, but he's like able to fish it out really quick. Okay, all right. And he kind of just he dumps whatever else remains in the trash of the eggshells, and then goes and washes his hands again.
Once he's done washing his hands, Drew will wash their hands, considering that they still had egg goop all over them.
And he gets a paper towel and gets you a paper towel to clean them off.
Nice.
All right. Now all we have to do is, where did I put it? And he looks in one cabinet and then looks in another. Where? And then he looks in the lower one. Oh, okay. And he takes out a plastic bag, unties it, and takes out this kind of device. I wonder, me, does Drew know what a mixer is?
Yes.
Good.
Drew actually does know what a mixer is.
And even if he had been at a loss, they would have noticed that Austin now takes out, like, you know, the two little mixy things that you put in the All right. You wanna mix it up?
How does it work? And I'll point at the mixer. They know what it is, but they've never used one.
Oh, this,
Ah,
mixer.
yes, give the idiot the mixer. This can
No.
only go well.
All you gotta do is, and he's looking around. Ah, there it is. And he plugs it into the outlet. All right, all you have to do is flip the switch just a little, and then, well, you can put it in the bowl first, and then flip the switch.
Okay.
And then it'll just start mixing everything together. It's only gonna be for like, and he looks at the box again. 20, no, 2. No, definitely 2 minutes. I don't think it needs 20. That must be the bake time.
Okay, so should I roll something for this? To see if Drew makes a mess or not?
Yeah, roll dex, I guess. Here we go.
Oh,
Perfect.
Drew!
Phenomenal. Show stopping. You're doing great, sweetie.
What an amazing 7!
Well, it seemed easy enough.
me, the player, my soul has left my body, imagining the mess that's about to unfold in front of me.
So, well, I mean, you do exactly as he says. You place it in the bowl, the correct way. You do, and flip the switch. But what he neglected to tell you, or maybe you hadn't noticed, you flip the switch all the way to the high setting. There are different settings.
Oh god.
You flip it all the way to the high settings, and it just starts.
And shit goes everywhere.
And it starts like splattering on you and the counter and also the cabinet. oh, jeez. And he's laughing, but he also looks a little frantic. All right, just and he's kind of just waving his hands about a bit.
He's
down,
gonna turn it off.
You turn it off. And he kind of just blinks. As all of the splatter stuff kind of like drips a little bit.
They're covered in goo. Austin's covered in goo. The counters and the floor are covered in goo.
It's not too much of a mess, but there's a lot of splatter, and it's everywhere. Okay.
I'm sorry.
What? No, it's okay. And he kind of he's trying to step around the mess, but then he's like, "What's the point? I'm also covered in it." But he goes over and gets some paper towels. I guess to save some time, why don't you pour that? I mean, it should be fine now. You put it on high. You can pour them into the cups, and I'll clean this up if you like.
Okay, I'm just gonna take the bowl and start slowly, as slow as possible, pouring the mix into each cup.
Could you roll dex again?
Drew, please. Thank you!
Oh he really did work.
I was so scared that I was just gonna pour this batter everywhere and then we weren't gonna have any. Oh my god.
So that was a nat 20 for a total of 23. You are so very careful. And well, now that the mixer is out of your hands, you feel a little more confident in at least being able to pour these out. And you do. Unlike the rest of the counter, which is splattered, the muffin tins actually remained pretty untouched in the corner. So you kind of just slowly poured in each cup, and yeah, you successfully filled all of them.
I successfully do not waste an entire box of cupcake mix.
And and so far, Austin's cleaned the floor and like some of the counter. He hasn't quite finished, But he kind of just he looks and then takes a double take. Oh, you're done. Neat.
Yeah, that was a lot easier than mixing it.
Yeah, it's yeah. He kind of just nods like, yeah. All right, so then all we have to do, I'll finish cleaning this in a second, is put them in the oven. And then he takes another look at the box. 20 minutes. Yes, 20.
Is the oven ready?
He preheated it earlier. I think it's okay. So, he opens it up and kind of gestures for you to place them in there.
And just gonna do that one at a time.
There. It makes it fits all. So it makes 18.
Nice.
And once they're safely inside and you take a step back, he shuts the door. Okay, so 20 minutes. All right. Well, that's gonna take a bit. Let me finish cleaning this. And he goes and starts mopping up the rest of the counter.
Just gonna take a paper towel and just wipe themselves free of cupcake batter.
And you okay? You didn't get too much on you?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And you notice though he still has splatters of it on him, but he has not bothered to clean it off.
Just going to assume that that's because he's still cleaning the counters and stuff, and that he will then clean himself up. Presumably.
But finishes up, throws the stuff in the trash. All right, let me just wash the dishes. Might as well do that now.
Do you want
He doesn't
help?
sound happy about it, but he goes to work.
Do you want help?
No, I'm all right. But if you want to take a look around, you can.
Just gonna shrug and start looking around the apartment. Not to be like nosy, just like pacing.
And as you do so, you notice that there isn't too much furniture, but it makes sense since there's only one, maybe two people living here. Well, at least two. But there's also there's a little TV and a little stand. A little, what is it called? I don't know what it's called. Great. It's not a nightstand because it's not night.
An end table.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. But and then there's also a little coffee table. That one actually has a vase and it has a couple flowers in it.
Are there any sunflowers by chance?
No, but not physically. There is, however, a framed painting that does have sunflowers on it.
Wow, that sure does remind you of somebody.
But but you also, as you look, there are two other doors. So you're assuming that there are two other rooms.
Drew doesn't know if those belong to anybody. There's at least one other person living here. They're not gonna snoop. They're just sticking to the common areas unless Austin leads them somewhere.
Oh.
This is not their house.
This is not their house.
It's nice.
Do you mind making a perception or investigation check? Whichever you want.
I'm going to do perception because, yeah. Great! I'm glad I picked the one that has a higher modifier. It helped me so much. God, Drew.
You can't help but notice, though, that there are like a couple windows, and there's actually a third door that you hadn't noticed before, but it's kind of farther off to the side. And there is another thing that you notice. There aren't any clocks in here. You would expect to see.
Drew as a
go ahead.
person thinks this is odd, but also isn't too worried about it, because like they don't own a watch. They haven't seen a clock in months. Like they're not worried about it. Me as a player, I'm so sus right now. I don't trust any of this.
Hey, why you sus? But as you kind of head back towards the kitchen while you're pacing, you pass by that end table again. And you hadn't noticed it before, but you noticed it now. There seems to be something on it, but it was face down.
Was or is?
Oh, it is. But
okay.
I said was because you hadn't noticed at first.
Oh. Can I tell what it is in my passing, or would I have to like actually interact with it?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
You can tell from the back of it that it is a picture frame, but it is face down, so you cannot tell what it holds, if any picture.
Me as a person, knowing things wants to flip it over, but Drew's too polite for that. This is not their house. This is not their stuff. They're not gonna touch it. I, however, am so sus.
We love this one robot. Very polite. But you know, you kind of stop to kind of glance at it a little, but then you head back over to the kitchen. And you just see Austin's just sitting there. He looks kind of bored. He's kind of just staring at the oven like, hurry up.
What's the saying? A watched pot never boils?
Well, this is an oven, not a pot.
I think the meaning can be transferred.
And he resumes staring at it. Then he kind of looks down at his wrist. All right, so this should probably be done in like 5 minutes. But you notice as he checks his wrist, there is no watch on there.
Yeah. She's gonna walk over to the oven and just, or over towards Austin at least, and just, it's nice. The apartment, I mean.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. Yeah. I mean, I didn't pick it out, but they did. I'm kind of just more of a well, I'm not a freeloader, that's for sure. I do pay rent, but you know, I kind of only stop in here occasionally.
Who's they?
My roommate.
There's more than one?
No.
Drew uses they them pronouns. Also, Drew, stupid.
You stupid. What's they them say?
This sign can't stop me if I don't know how to read.
I'm sorry. That really.
Oh.
That really got me. Okay. But Austin kind of just squints for a minute, and then it's like, oh, well, they use he sometimes too, so.
Makes sense.
Yes, it's just the one. I can't imagine having any other roommates.
I mean, at least you have roommates.
What, do you not have any roommates?
Roll insight.
So anyway, I started rolling insight. That's an 11.
Okay, so, Drew goes silent, and, with your 11, you get the feeling that Drew has no roommates and possibly has never had a roommate.
Huh. So you live by yourself? That's pretty cool.
I wouldn't say that. And you can roll insight again if you want, with advantage this time, because...
We gotta get that tasty lore up in here. 26.
Okay. So, Drew's not saying it, but you kind of get the feeling that, they do not, in fact, have a place. They do not have a place to stay that is not an inn.
And, Austin kind of falls silent for a moment. I got you. He pauses and takes a breath. You know, you can stay here if you want.
There's gonna be, like, their screen, which is normally their eyes are going to, disappear, and instead it's going to do, like, the dot, as they try to process what he just said. What?
You can stay here. I mean, it wouldn't really be much of an issue, I don't think.
Drew does not know how to respond to this. They're just brain broke. They don't know what to do. They're like, oh shit, what? So they're going to stand there for a moment, and they're like, I don't have a job to pay rent.
It's fine. It's fine. I can just cover you for a little bit.
Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, you don't have a. He kind of just stammers for a moment, and then, oh wait, the cupcakes. He gets a couple mitts and opens it up, and luckily they are not burnt. It seems like they had just finished. So he very carefully takes them out, puts them on the counter. But hey, I mean, it's not really a big deal. I mean, Subtle used to cover for me, and then now I have a job, so they don't have to do that anymore.
Wait, I missed the name. Who?
Subtle.
Your roommate?
Yeah, that's his name. It's Subtle.
Drew's Drew does not have like any problem with the fact that their roommate's name is Subtle. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, wait a second, my brain broke. Wait a minute.
It's okay.
Okay, so is there enough space? Drew's never lived in an apartment before.
Oh,
They have only ever lived in a lab or in an inn. So this is another pun, isn't it? I know how you name your characters.
Be ready to unleash another pun. I gotta wait for the right moment. But anyway, to answer your question, Austin kind of looks around a little bit. Oh, yeah. You can probably take that room. And he points to the door on the right.
Just gonna turn around and look at it, and then turn back and look at Austin like, are you sure about this?
And he kind of pops back up from where he was sitting, because he sat back down after placing the stuff away. I'm sure. Come on, why don't I show you while these things are cooling?
Okay.
And you guys kind of walk from the kitchen over to the door. As you notice, he still hasn't cleaned up or changed or anything.
Are you gonna like wipe yourself off at least?
Oh, well, I was gonna change after that was done. Because next spot's the icing, you know?
No, I don't know, but okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, we usually ice cupcakes. I mean, if you want to eat it like that, it's fine, but like, it'd be more of a muffin, I think. Is that how the delineation works?
I think muffins are, they can be supposedly healthier depending on what you put in them.
Huh. Neat. Anyway.
Also, out of character, don't quote me on that. I do not bake at all. I do not know the difference.
It's okay. I bake and I don't know.
If anyone knows, feel free to let me know.
But he goes over to the door, and you hold on. You want to roll perception again?
Yeah.
Or insight, whichever you want.
Insight is higher, so I'll take that. Damn it.
You don't really notice much as he approaches the door, and he, nonchalantly grabs the handle and opens it. So, yeah, you could stay in here, I think. And he takes a step back for you to take a step inside.
Just gonna go inside and look around.
And inside here, it's actually a pretty nice blue. The walls are kind of a nice blue color, with the bed being like a darker blue. And don't make me laugh. And
too late.
But what you notice about this room is it does have a nightstand with like a lamp, but it also has at least 3 different bookcases, and it is filled top to bottom with books.
Drew, who is not someone who's... You know what? Actually, go ahead and roll insight.
Can't spell. Hold on. I can't spell, I say as I'm typing numbers. Dirty 20.
Okay. So, you get the feeling that, Drew may or may not like reading, depending on what it is. So the fact that there's bookcases that are full of books is exciting, but you also get the feeling that um Drew has never had their own room before. They used to live in a lab, so like
So here they are.
they've never had their own bedroom before. So they're kind of shook.
uh, yeah, you think it'll do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll let him know when he comes around.
Just gonna blink like shit, I didn't think this far ahead. Just like, oh shit, okay. What do I do now? They didn't think this far at all.
And kind of Austin pauses and takes a look back at Drew. You doing okay?
Uh, yeah. Yeah. And they're gonna nod like, yeah, I'm totally okay. I'm not shook up over the fact that I actually have a bedroom now or anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
So do you want to just hang out in here, or do you want to help me ice the cupcakes, or?
I want to help Ice, and they'll come back out.
Okay. But he does kind of close the door when you come back out. So, all right, it's time to put the final touches on this. And he excitedly goes, kind of, runs back to the kitchen. All right, where did I put it? And he kind of looks through the bags. Ah, here it is. And he pulls out like this tub, and it's kind of a small cylinder. Again, you can't read the writing on it.
Nope, it's in some language that Drew doesn't know. So,
but
also, I will say, we have been going for like an hour and a half. Do we want to take like a break for 5 minutes, or do we just want to finish this up?
Oh, we have well,
You're the one who has the plan, so I don't know how much you had left.
uh, hmm, huh, hmm. Me realizing that I do have more. Shoot, but like, is there another FPS after this?
I actually have no
I
idea.
never check for these things.
I knew that I should have, and I was like, nah, we'll be fine.
Go off the rails.
Hold on.
All the time.
No.
I'm gonna go
we're
find
it.
it.
We're it. We're it.
Oh, we're it.
We're
Okay,
the last
good.
thing on the calendar, so I think we're it.
Good. Strap in, buddy. It'll be another, I don't know. I think I have like another half hour.
Okay, so do we want to take like a 5-minute break for this?
A break?
Yeah.
In
an FPS?
it's more
Wow.
likely than you think.
Okay, I'm gonna pause the recording now. Yeah.
So now, you guys are ready to ice the cupcakes. Woo! And you also notice that there's a like little packet on top. So there's like, I think you can identify those. Those are sprinkles.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you kind of, Austin just kind of looks at the icing, and then looks at you, and then looks back at the icing. Huh. How are we gonna spread this thing? Do I have like a piping bag, or maybe we could just use a knife or something? And
Knife seems the simplest way to go.
And he kind of rummages in the cabinet, pulls out like a butter knife. Yeah, I think this will work, probably. You Then he goes and grabs a second one. So we can split it in half.
That works. And Drew will take the
Okay.
knife. What do you have? A knife! Discord cut you off before you could even scream.
I didn't get to scream! How dare! Sorry. But it's a butter knife. You'll be fine. Hopefully. So, the two of you get to work. I don't know if you want to roll anything for it, or if you just want to.
I mean, I don't know what we would roll for it. God, can I learn how to speak, please? I had a drink of water and it lost my ability to speak.
I feel that. We'll just let them ice it.
Yeah. We already cracked like half the eggs on the counter. It's fine.
Well, I also made them roll for each egg, so.
And we made a mess of all the batter, so I think they can do this.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a little more controlled anyway. So you kind of just start spreading the icing. And during this time, Austin's relatively quiet. It kind of just looks like he's focusing.
Just going to focus primarily because they don't want to make another mess.
And with some teamwork, you guys finish icing them.
Nice.
But we're not done yet. We've got the sprinkles.
Nice.
And Austin actually offers them to you, Drew. Do you want to put these on? Sprinkles.
So are they in like a little like a bag, or are they in like one of them little shaker things?
It's like in a little baggie.
So Drew's going to very carefully go for each cupcake. They're going to shake some of the sprinkles into their hand and then dump them from their hand onto the cupcakes. And they'll do that for each one, so that way there's like an even amount, and like no one cupcake has just like destroyed with sprinkles, and then there's a cupcake that has one sprinkle on it. None of that.
One solitary.
None of that.
Good. And you notice though, that the icing was red, but these sprinkles are a shimmering blue.
It's a nice contrast.
I think we're good. Hey, you did a really good job.
Thanks.
And now, he kind of gets this shing in his eye, you know. You get to eat it.
My time has come.
But I'll let you have first dibs, since apparently you've never baked or... Have you even had a cupcake?
No. Absolutely not.
It almost looks as if he's offended. Go and you have first dibs.
So Drew is going to pick one of the corners at random and pick that one. And
Austin's just kind of watching.
They'll slowly peel off the paper because they don't want to make a mess. And they'll leave the paper, the like little paper on the counter. And then so because they don't have teeth and the way that their mouth is shaped, they're going to
Oh no.
They're gonna take the whole cupcake and just put it in their mouth. And they eat it.
Just the whole
there's like no chewing. You think maybe you see their jaw like close up a bit, but you're not sure. And then the next thing you know, the cupcake is gone and their eyes have turned into like stars like they did before.
Oh.
You're getting this robot hooked on sugar.
Whoops.
Do you realize this?
I I realize the consequences of my actions and don't care. But Osmond kind of he just grins. So they're good, and he picks one up
That
himself.
was so good.
Nice, and he goes and takes a bite. Um, and since you're right next to him, you realize something. He has taken a bite of the cupcake, but like of the whole cupcake. Like he hasn't. He didn't peel off the paper.
I was gonna say, did he not take the paper?
No, he just freaking ate it.
She's gonna stand there flabbergasted, and they're gonna look at the piece of paper that they left on the counter, and then they're gonna look at Austin, and then they're gonna look at the ground like, I was sure you took that off. That you were supposed to take that off.
Austin looks from you to the piece of paper. Oh, shoot, I forgot to take that off. Well, more fiber for me. And he just freaking eats it again.
She's having an existential crisis over the fact that Austin is just eating paper. No.
Listen, he wants cupcake. He has no patience.
At least take the paper off.
He is not. He continues eating the cupcake.
Drew will, while Austin is still holding the cupcake, Drew will attempt to take the rest of the paper off of it.
You want to make a dex for that?
I can sure try.
As he pauses for a moment while he has to chew, you just lean over and very quickly just like tear off the rest of the paper, and he just kind of looks like, huh?
No more paper for you.
What? Okay.
He's gonna put the like half-eaten cupcake wrapper beside theirs on the counter.
Well, and he kind of just pops the other half of the cupcake in his mouth. Our stuff pretty good.
What?
Our friend, and he chews a little more. Swallow. That was pretty good, right?
Yes. Do you make these
Nice.
often?
I mean, not as often as I should, but yeah, I can always. Well, we have more here, and yeah, we can always get some more some other time.
Just thinks this over for a minute. We should make them again. Sometime.
And Austin gives a little smile. Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm like trying to like just trying to I as the player have at least one thing that I'm trying to do, but Drew is not cooperating.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, and he goes and opens the cabinet, takes out like a large plate. Well, I don't really make them too often, only because I'm in and out of the place. It's just, today was just, the day to make them. And he starts putting a couple of them, you taking them out of the tins and onto the plate.
Just gonna blank like the day.
The day. It's and he kind of hesitates, but then continues. It's my birthday.
Just gonna get like the star eyes again.
Oh.
You have let them in on a secret. Like so
he sees this. Now don't go telling anybody, you know, it doesn't have to be a national holiday. And he finishes putting all the cupcakes on the plate. There you go. I'll wash this later. Looking at the tins.
You don't celebrate your birthday that much?
uh, well, I mean, I don't really see the need, you know, just kind of a solitary thing.
It doesn't have to be.
He
And
kind of blinks.
I'm gonna that's not the correct number.
Me.
Okay.
Huh?
So, Drew is going to take one hand and reach it behind them.
Uh-huh.
Cause the like cube on their back is their hammer space, so they're gonna reach into their hammer space.
Oh, cute.
It's their astronaut space pack, but it's actually hammer space. Don't tell nobody. So they're going to pull something out and hand it to Austin.
Huh? He looks kind of...
It's
good.
If you've looked at Glorp Shop or listened to any game, maybe you'll know what a kitty cat scarf is.
Oh. Oh.
So Drew's giving him one of those.
You want me to hold this? And he does take it, but he kind of looks... What do you mean it's mine? I've never done this before.
Drew is internally like shutting off because they have never, for what they know, they've never given someone a gift before. So they're like, this must be how it works. So they're like, well, it's your birthday, right?
Yeah. Oh, so you giving this to me?
Yes.
Oh. Thank you. And he looks kind of surprised, but he also looks a little happy as he's taking a look at this kitty cat scarf. I love. Oh. And he makes a motion to go put it on and then freezes. Oh wait, I haven't cleaned yet.
You're still covered in batter, so maybe not yet.
Not yet. And he kind of puts his hands back down. You know what? Why don't I go and change and, you know, clean up and everything, and you can check out your room. And that sound fun?
Yeah. It does. She's remembering now that they have a room again and they do not have to go back to some random inn in town like, oh, wait, I have to process that now.
But Austin gives a bit of a grin. All right. I'll go get this all sorted out. He kind of just gestures to himself. So he kind of trots over to the third door, the one all the way to the left. And as he opens it, you notice that it is a bathroom. And he kind of just closes the door. And now you are free to go into your little room.
And you're just going to do that and just look around and just sort of stare off into space while they process that this is their room now. This is not what they expected to do today.
Would you grant me one last perception check?
Yeah. 15.
That's pretty good. Um, so you kind of just looking around, and it doesn't feel as cramped as you would think with the bookcases. It's kind of cozy. You do notice that there's actually a little desk in the corner. So, you can sit and read or write stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the bed isn't very big, but it's pretty nice.
Well, neither is Drew, so it's fine.
But do they flop out onto the bed?
Yeah, I think they will.
um, but as you do so, you notice something on one of the bookshelves. Um, you notice a couple of things. There are like a couple of knickknacks, but one thing catches your eye. It's another picture frame.
Oh?
Did I cut out or?
I think so. I was like, oh, and then there was just dead silence, and I was like, wait a minute.
Oh no!
Something's happening
There
here.
was a picture frame.
There sure is a picture frame, and then I was like, oh, what's in the frame? And there was just silence, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, you can't see it from this angle. You just see the glare reflecting off of it.
Can I sit up on the bed to look at it?
Yes.
Okay.
And as you sit up and look at it, it doesn't have any people in it. It has a building.
A building.
It's a picture of a building. And from the composition, you have a feeling it kind of looks like a school.
Alarms are going off in my head right now, but I don't have time to unpack all that.
Yeah, I think all you have time for is to just lay back down and be like, I have to process this.
Yeah, I have to process that I have a room now. I'll ask Austin about this weird school building later.
And I would like to think that as you lay there, the fatigue kind of hits you.
And yeah, I sure hope so.
You slowly drift off to sleep.
It's nap time.
It is nap time. And that is where we shall end this FPS.
Woo! She's not homeless anymore!
Yes, but now there are still questions.
Yeah, there sure are.
But for now, we shall say good night and goodbye to our listeners.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for playing.